It never starts with panic. There's no siren, no breaking news banner at first. A currency doesn't scream. It slips quietly, overnight, while most people are asleep. You wake up, your phone works, the shop's open, but something is off. Coffee costs a little more, fuel too. No one calls it a crisis yet. That's how it begins. And right now, this matters more than most people realize, because currency crashes aren't rare events from history books. They're not limited to failed states or faraway economies. They're structural. They're baked into how modern money works. And when a currency crashes, it doesn't just hit traders. It rewires daily life. Let's slow this down and watch what really happens. First, a simple truth that almost everyone misses. A currency is not worth what the number says. It's worth trust. Trust that when you trade it today, someone else will accept it tomorrow. Trust that it will buy roughly the same amount of life next month. Trust that the country behind it can hold things together. When that trust weakens, the price moves. When that trust breaks, the crash begins. And the trigger is rarely dramatic. Sometimes it's rising debt. Sometimes it's falling exports. Sometimes it's political chaos. Sometimes it's just higher interest rates somewhere else. But here's the uncomfortable part. A currency crash usually starts outside the country. Large institutions, banks, funds, corporations, they hold currencies the way you hold apps on your phone. If something better shows up, they switch. So when investors sense risk, they don't debate it, they leave. They sell the currency, they convert it into something safer: dollars, euros, yen, gold. At first, the moves are small, barely visible, but currencies trade in massive volume. Tiny shifts turn into trend. Trend turns to pressure. And then the math kicks in. As the currency falls, imports get more expensive. Oil, food, medicine, technology. The country has to pay more of its own money to buy the same things, which means prices rise at home. This is where people first feel it, not in charts, in supermarkets. Inflation isn't an abstract concept here. It's your salary shrinking in real time. Now governments notice. They have a few options. None are clean. They can raise interest rates to attract foreign money back, but higher rates slow the economy. Loans become expensive, businesses pause, unemployment creeps in. Or they can spend reserves, use foreign currency savings to buy their own currency and prop it up. That works, briefly, until reserves run out. And markets know this. This is the irony of currency defense. The more aggressively a government tries to stop the fall, the more clearly it signals fear. And fear is expensive. At some point, reality breaks through the messaging. The currency drops faster. Import prices spike harder. Inflation accelerates. Now comes the part most explainer videos skip. A currency crash doesn't hit everyone equally. Exporters love it. Their goods become cheaper globally. They earn more when foreign money converts back. Tourism gets a boost. Foreigners feel rich overnight. But everyone else pays. Salaries lag. Savings lose value. Debt denominated in foreign currency explodes. If a company borrowed in dollars but earns in local currency, its debt just multiplied without borrowing a single extra cent. That's how healthy businesses collapse during currency crises, not because they failed, because the unit of measurement moved.
And this is where panic finally becomes visible. People rush to convert cash. They buy dollars, gold, crypto, real estate, anything not melting. Banks impose limits. Governments impose controls. Ironically, these controls often accelerate the crash, because once people suspect they won't be able to exit later, they rush to exit now. This is the moment when headlines appear. But by the time you read currency crash in the news, the damage is already done. Here's the part that sounds almost cruel. Most currency crashes are not caused by one bad decision. They're caused by years of trade-offs finally colliding. Cheap money to boost growth, debt to avoid short-term pain, political promises priced into the future. The crash is just the bill arriving all at once. And unlike stock market crashes, there's no circuit breaker. Currencies trade continuously, globally, relentlessly. There's no pause button on trust. Now zoom out. In a global system where money moves instantly, currencies are constantly being compared against each other. You're not just managing your own economy, you're competing against every other central bank on Earth. If another country raises rates, your currency feels it. If global risk rises, money flows toward safety. If confidence shifts, you pay the price. This is why currency crashes feel unfair, because they are. They punish ordinary people for decisions they didn't make. They reward speed, size, and access. And yet, they keep happening, because the system values liquidity over stability, flexibility over protection. A currency crash is not the end of an economy, but it is a reset. Wealth reshuffles, power shifts, living standards reprice. Some countries recover stronger, some never fully do. And here's the final uncomfortable thought. In a world where debt is high, growth is fragile, and trust moves at the speed of a click, no currency is immune. So the real question isn't which currency will crash next, it's this. How much trust does money really deserve when it only works as long as everyone believes it will?